I'm Callum, 38. And up until a few months ago I thought I understood what marriage looked like. Comfortable habits, shared mugs of morning coffee, disagreements that never survived past bedtime. My wife, Mara, has always been someone who brightens a room without realizing she's doing it. She's quiet, a little eccentric, always nudging her glasses up even when they're perfectly in place. She's been at the same marketing firm for 6 years. No drama, no office politics. Just steady work and a surprising amount of optimism for someone who deals with clients all day. Maybe that's why the night everything changed still sits heavy in me. It was her company's winter party, semi-formal, lukewarm wine, forced laughter, the usual. She wasn't excited to go, but didn't want to seem antisocial. I promised I'd pick her up later since the venue was close to home. When her text came in, "Can you come now, please?" I felt a bolt of concern. Mara almost never used please unless she was uneasy. No details, no urgency in the punctuation, but I knew something was wrong. I got there in 10 minutes. She walked out looking emptied. Not crying, not trembling, but drained in a way I'd never seen. Her hair was mussed, she was clutching her coat instead of wearing it, and she climbed into the car without a word. "Mara," I asked quietly, "what happened?" She inhaled like she was trying to decide if speaking would break her open. Someone crossed a line. Those 5 words hit harder than anything else she could have said. "Someone at the party?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She nodded, eyes fixed on the dashboard. "Jasper." I recognized the name immediately. The co-worker she'd mentioned here and there, the one who brought pastries, made harmless jokes, seemed like the friendly type. I'd met him twice. He hadn't seemed dangerous. But danger isn't always loud. Sometimes it smiles and blends in. "He was drinking," she said softly. "Everyone was. I was getting my coat and he put his hands on my waist. Not accidentally. Not playfully. Too close." She swallowed. I pushed him away, and he laughed. Said I was overreacting. Something sharp twisted inside me, anger at him, but also at a world where Mara, gentle as she is, couldn't attend a work party without being made to feel small. "Did you tell anyone there?" I asked, not accusing, just trying to understand why she'd carried this alone until she texted me. She shook her head. "His boss is close with him. People were drunk. I didn't want to start something. I just wanted to leave." And I hated that staying quiet felt safer to her. The ride back was silent in a fragile, heavy way. At home, I had her sit down, brought her water, and waited. "He didn't stop when I stepped back," she said eventually. "He treated it like a joke. Like my boundaries were optional." I took her hand. "You're not wrong for how you felt. He was wrong. Period." She finally met my eyes. "I just feel violated. Not dramatically, but in a way that makes me uneasy around him. And I see him every day." "We'll fix that," I told her. "However you want to. No pressure." She nodded, but the exhaustion on her face made her look older, worn. That night she fell asleep on my chest, and I stared at the ceiling, replaying her words, seeing Jasper's face in a new, uglier light. People like him rely on others staying polite, staying quiet. He'd probably wake up the next morning completely unbothered. But I knew one thing with absolute clarity. I wasn't letting this fade into the background. Not this time. The next morning, she left earlier than usual. She said she wanted to avoid him, but I knew part of it was not wanting me to hover. She's always handled things quietly, even when she shouldn't have to. I watched her drive off with a knot in my chest. This wasn't something that time alone would fix. Some experiences only grow heavier when buried. So I dumped fresh coffee into a mug, sat at the kitchen table, and did something I don't often allow myself. I let the anger come, quiet, simmering, controlled, but real. By midday, the truth had settled into me like a slow burn. Not rage, not revenge, just a clear understanding that if I didn't step in, one day he might hurt someone who couldn't defend themselves. Someone quieter. Someone who'd freeze instead of push back. So I made a plan. Steady, simple, measured. No dramatics. No threats. Just facts. I drove to Mara's office and waited in the parking lot until lunch, when people began spilling out in twos and threes. Through the glass doors I saw her with Leia, stiff around the shoulders but trying to appear normal. And then Jasper stepped out behind them, laughing, relaxed, like he hadn't done anything that would weigh on a conscience at all. He didn't notice me right away. When he finally did, confusion flickered across his face before he tried to smooth it over with an easy smile, the kind people use when they want to pretend everything is fine. Callum. Hey. Didn't expect you here. I gave one nod. We need to talk. He shrugged like it was nothing. Sure. What's going on? I didn't drag him aside. I didn't raise my voice. I just looked at him the way you look at someone when you're done pretending. I know what you did last night. His smile wilted. What are you talking about? You put your hands on my wife without her consent. She told you to stop, and you didn't. You treated it like a joke. People passed nearby, not paying full attention, but close enough that Jasper stiffened. Callum. Look, everyone was drinking. Maybe things got. She wasn't drunk, I said. And you were sober enough to laugh when she pushed you off. He swallowed hard, eyes flicking around as if searching for a door that wasn't there. I didn't chase him with words. I just held his gaze, forcing him to sit in the truth he'd been trying to dodge. By then Leia had noticed us and brought Mara over. The moment he saw Mara's face, Jasper straightened like a student caught cheating. Mara slipped her cold hand into mine. I didn't move toward him. I didn't need to. This is what's going to happen, I said quietly. You're going to stay away from her. Keep it professional. No casual conversations, no jokes. And if you cross her boundary again, we're going directly to HR, your supervisor, and anyone else who needs to hear it. People imagine confrontations as shouting matches, but controlled silence, purposeful stillness, can hit harder than yelling. Jasper felt that. It shut down whatever excuses he had left. He just murmured, "Yeah, okay," and backed off. I didn't offer a handshake. I didn't soften it. I simply walked Mara back to the door. When we reached it, she whispered, "What you did, it meant more than I can tell you." I didn't do anything brave, I said. I just protected the boundary you deserved. She let out a breath like she'd been carrying a stone inside her chest. I thought you'd be angry with me. Or ashamed. You didn't do anything wrong, I told her. He did. And now he knows it. That night she curled into me with a warmth I hadn't felt from her in years, the kind that comes when someone feels truly safe. She told me Leia had already filed a quiet report with HR, not to escalate things but to document them. Jasper wasn't fired. He didn't vanish from the world. No dramatic collapse. But he kept his distance. He became noticeably smaller, more careful, aware of the space around him in a way he hadn't been before. Consequences aren't always cinematic. Sometimes they're subtle shifts, boundaries laid down at the right moment. Mara healed slowly, on her own timeline, but she healed knowing I stood with her. And I learned something, too. Strength isn't loud. Strength is steady. Strength is quiet and unwavering when someone you love needs you to hold the line.